Big shove coming on from the visitor, and it's out Toulon side. Slow to react, but Nicolas Sanchez sees the door open to him, feeds off to his half-back partner. Chris Massaoui takes Toulon for the first time into the 22. Well, options are plenty on that side. In the end, it's Mathieu Bastereau. He scored again.
Toulon, it's taking a strike against the head. That's a big pat in the back for your front row. But this is world class. This is a world class break, and he's managed to keep the ball alive. It's just about fixing defenders. Simple.
So early on, but Toulon expert in maximising that opportunity, and Bastereau was never going to be stopped to nail his 5th try of the season. Halfpenny, 20 points last week against Ulster, just missed 1 kick in 10. A great start, as you would expect.
Years now. He's a single threat to the Scarlets here. Any sort of ill discipline. This is a guy who's a 90% goal kicker from anywhere within 45 yards.
And that man Bastereau is a prime try finisher from anywhere like 5 metres. No, and impossible to stop him from that sort of distance. And the Scarlets didn't realise they really need to keep their eyes on him. And that man Tiasbourg, the little chip and chase. Havana just despairing as the ball beats him out of play. Tiasbourg, well, apologising to the Springbok, but again, fringe defence for the home side, alarmingly negligent.
The key to fringe defence is you have to defend the ball first. This is, again, the Scarlets have to stick to what they've trained. This is a wonderful skill. It's a perfect exit for Toulon. It's a court, they've got good scrum phase, and away we go.
Well, the Scarlets are going to have to go away from their end 22 once again as Rob McCusker sets it up for his scrum half. Oh, it's Lewis Rawlings losing the ball, and again Toulon are given early opportunity. Bastereau, that cannonball of a centre, feeds on to Drew Mitchell. The forwards amassing in midfield for the French side. Round comes Sanchez once again. And Toulon so quickly into their high gears, almost impossible to stop. Juan Smith feeding on to Chris Massaoui. Tiasbourg, oh, this time it doesn't quite work for them, but the alarm bell's already ringing in the Scarlets' defence, and there's not much they can do when Toulon are playing as confidently as this.
No, they're playing with a confidence because they have the luxury of game line ball. Time and time again, they come around the corner at pace, at tempo. We've seen big ball carry after big ball carry, and they're getting a game line far too easy. The key for the Scarlets here now is they have to maintain their composure. They need to get some ball, they need to go through some phases just to get a bit of confidence. They need to exit well here.
Well, Ryan Elias happy to take on the ricochet from that line out and give his team, I should say, a chance to draw breath almost. Inside the first 10 minutes, and for the most part, apart from the starts, they've been stuck inside their own half. There's Alan Davis.
He's a wonderful, wonderful rugby player. If you watch him closely throughout the game, you'll see he's part of everything good about Toulon's game, because his understanding is second to none. Very clever from the Scarlets there. We've seen they adopted this standoff defence. That's because they don't want to get into a pushing contest. They want to try and avoid that contact all they can.
There is Smith again, as the forwards come around, led by Roman Taufifanawa. Sanchez gets the call from Havana. Good communication from the French side, keeping that continuity going. Sanchez almost trying to sidle through that gap. Suter feeds on to Maxime Memos. Forward call comes in, again it's from Juan Smith. Advantage is there as well.
Back to your feet first of all. You've got to clearly come off the ball and be clearly back on your feet. There's your mark. Not that tight for me.
Well, it's been one-way traffic so far. Well, Lee Halfpenny's in the mood. 2 from 2. The French champions. Another restart for Reece Priestland. Stefan Armitage wearing the more familiar 7 shirt this week. Team's board. Been in such fine form for Toulon that he's started all 3 games for France in the autumn series and is back in the Six Nations squad for Philippe Saint-André, and has pushed out the likes of Maxime Machinot or Morgan Parra. It seems to be between him and Rory Cockett for that Les Bleus number 9 shirt. He really has been making Toulon tick this season. There's a chance for Steven Schingler to try and make the Scarlets tick, but just up over halfway. And they really are going to have to hold on to their concentration in the face of this onslaught from this star-filled team. Rob Evans having to rescue the bits.
Ball down, please. Ball down, please.
I think Steven Schingler still shaking off that tackle there from Bastareaud. Welcome to the game. Yeah, again, we talk about mistakes. Simon, this Scarlets team have got to cut out these errors. It's just playing in Toulon's hand. They're not making them work for their possession. They're not making them work for yards. They're not working for their territory. What's it? There's a mistake there from Toulon.
Well, there's one for the diary, and Steven Schingler gets a chance to slam it clear. But it's a temporary reprieve at the moment for the way this game has gone. Chris Massoui, former All Black. Well, can't always tell a match by the stats, but I think that gives a fair impression of what we've seen through these opening exchanges. Efficient lineup from Toulon straight into midfield. Mermoz throws it. Huge wide pass, and Havana was caught betwixt and between there. Maybe a little over-ambition from the French side.
Take the line again, you're clearly in front of the man.
No doubt rankling from the criticism he's received from Patrice Legisquet this week and his absence from the Six Nations squad. He said it was all about attitude when he wasn't picked for the team. So he certainly has a lot to prove, the former Perpignan man. Coming through is Massoui. Whipped out there, Regan King. They're going to need all King's experience now. I think they're going to go back, yes indeed, for that Massoui knocked through, as it turned out.
Well, you see the Scarlets there have opted for a shorter lineup. They've obviously gone with a winning mentality there. We spoke to Mark Jones in the week, the Scarlets coach, and he talked about playing with a bit of tempo in and around the tail of that lineup because of the way Toulon defend. That's right. Toulon, you'll see, will take the tempo off everything. They've got no interest in speeding this game up. They're quite happy to roll from set piece to set piece and just wear the Scarlets out. The Scarlets, on the flip side, need to keep the tempo high.
And they've got to take the opportunities they do get from the set piece to home side. Tugas Board struggles his way through the heavy traffic. John Smith completes the rescue as it was, and Massoui takes it on. Tugas Board, who had a 5.5-year absence from the international field, now has 11 caps to his name, and as I mentioned, was an ever-present in the last 3 games for France. Casper Biarritz, scrum half, really in the prime of his rugby playing form. That's a better line out from the Scarlets. Scott Williams trying to barge his way, or at least dent that Toulon defence, but it's not happening. Got to be careful with that presentation. Aaron Schingler setting the ball back, and the Scarlets just trying to go through some numbers now, just to get some continuity, to get some rhythm to their game. Priestland dabs it through, delicately, beautifully weighted kick. The crowd didn't think that went backwards. The officials have said there's no problem. The halfpenny will be, no doubt, disappointed that he's not up against Liam Williams in a sort of mini audition for the fullback role, but Williams unable to play as yet with that shoulder problem. There is that dab through. Oh, it was off his right hand, so difficult to tell from this angle. He says
it's a wonderful crowd, you know. They call him forward from 60 yards away here.
Ryan does find his man George Earl this time. Oh, that pass not helping at all, and really the Scarlets just look nervy, just look jittery, and cannot get their rhythm into their match.
I think rhythm's the key word here. They're unable to string any phases together, but these long loopy passes against a defence that's coming up and taking all that space away is just playing in Toulon's hands. It's putting those skills under pressure as well, and just providing Toulon with those targets to hit. You know, I like them sending Scott Williams short, but we've got to be more efficient at that breakdown. We need to be committing less players, getting the ball away quickly.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Powerful scrum from the visitors. Just waiting to fire off set piece, and it's not the best alignment from Drew Mitchell, but he rescues that well. Gets almost out of the clasp of Regan King, but they come round the corner with such power and such pace. Roman Fifanua, all 130-odd kilos of him. Look at that drive coming in. Tiersport again, critical in there. Havana steps in. There it is. Well, Fifanua thinking about the dive pass, but the referee's whistle just stopping the action.
On the back of a great Scarlet scrum there, we've seen what's good about Toulon. In 2 or 3 phases they've gone 25 yards, and this simple yards. This is going to be a real worry for the Scarlets. They've got to sort out their defence in and around the breakdown. It's an interesting call from Lee to go for another 3 points. I'd have thought maybe they might be a bit more comfortable now, go to the corner, put the Scarlets under more and more pressure, but they're here for a win, and they want to win well.
Well, you can see just how they get that continuity, the flow into the Toulon attack, and there's Tiersport, and this, when he went down, is where I think it was his calf, he got caught in the tackle. But Drew Mitchell coming off his wing, looking for work.
You've got to drop your height in this situation. You know, the only way to bring these big boys down is to get low. It's, you know, it's hips and knees.
Well, it's going to bring Eric Escond on slightly earlier than we thought. There he is, the 22-year-old, wearing 22. And, no doubt they'll be disappointed to see Tiersport leave. We'll wait and see whether that's a permanent replacement as Lee Halfpenny lines up his third kick. Never a problem for Lee Halfpenny, and the travelling Toulon fans, of which there's quite a few, enjoying the first quarter of rugby that they've seen, as much as they'll be disappointed to see the exit of their conductor, Sebastian Tiersport.
I don't think the Scarlets will be sorry to see the back of him there, Simon.
Well, the principal carrier, 51 metres he made through the course of these first 19 minutes. It really was an extremely impressive opening from the Toulon scrum half as the conduit for everything that they were doing in attack. Escond, former Montpellier halfback, can play 9 or 10, so quite happy covering in both of those positions. Preston just changing the option. Well, scrappy ball, and it's hacked clear. Scott Williams almost didn't want that bouncing into his hands, but it stayed strong enough. Good work from the well centre. That's good work from the Scarlets captain. They needed him to stay strong there. And now they've got numbers out to the right. Peter Edwards feeds out McCusker on to Shingler. Aaron Shingler, that is, but, well, no way through Brian Havana there. Aaron Shingler has great athleticism, more of a Tom Croft type of back rower, but needed to put on some sort of acceleration there.
Yeah, I think he saw Brian and he thought, I thought he'd give him a bit of his own medicine and try and go through him, but it wasn't the case there. Nice to see a bit of handbags. Everyone loves to see a bit of fire. You know, the Scarlets are slowly finding their way back into this now. It's coming away from the Scarlets 22. Some more rugby's starting to be played around the halfway. But these are not the guys you want on the outside of some great work by Scott Williams. They've managed to realign, managed to get some depth, and it was on. But you know, you don't want to find your low numbers out there out wide.
Good handling as well from the two props. Mentions for numbers 1 and 3, but right now they are having to scuttle across to get defensive line in place as Drew Mitchell threatens to pierce that red line once again. Scorned and Sanchez, well, good pick up from Taufik Fanua. That was dipping to his shoelaces. Well, Sanchez changing the option, deciding he wants to get on the scoreboard, and does so with a nonchalant drop goal.
That's fresh off the training ground, I think, there.
Well, Nicolas Sanchez was yesterday confirmed by World Rugby as the 4th highest point scorer in international rugby in 2014. 117 points from 13 tests he notched up. Well,
they almost had to get out of jail here, but there's a few scores being settled there.
Leading that resurgence from the Scarlets, and you can see the efforts that he's already put in. We saw it in that first game that as soon as the Scarlets
take it to the line, coupled with I think is the informed centre in Wales and Scott Williams, who's able to play in and around as a second ball player, if you like. So they're very, very dangerous. The difficulty's coming for them in A, ball retention, and B, the set piece at the moment.
Came on, of course, with Jordan Williams at Welford Road after just, 13-14 minutes last weekend.
To be a true reflection, but the Scarlets are hanging in there at the moment. They're finding a way to be competitive. They're frustrating Toulon to these penalty opportunities.
As Maxime Mermoz slams it back and invites the Scarlets to run him. Last week to score a brace at Welford Road. Very elusive runner when put into the right sort of areas. Execution wide, and in the end, well, the kicking conversation was about to start, but here comes Halfpenny. Oh, Rawlings.
Scarlets forwards are out the game, in behind them, and that's to the left here is having some treatment. He's got some ice. He's wrapping up warm. You know that.
Since he appeared against Ulster, has had a hamstring problem, and he really is an Argentinian legend, I think it's fair to say.
He's a fantastic rugby player, but you've also missed he's just rolled out as well, so there's another fantastic substitute piece off from an infringement at the set piece. You've seen it. They're really attacking Pete Edwards here in the tight end, and it's straight into the backs. Scarlets forwards are out the game, in behind them, and that's fantastic play. He's dragged 3 Scarlets defenders. Great angle from Brian.
So a significant score in this game. As Lee Halfpenny looks to add the extras. Not back on form as he bisects. Well, we've moved into the final quarter of this game, and I think Rodri Williams is coming on to try and change things at the base of what is a retreating scrum.
In the feet of your players go that, so up and down, please. Yeah. Thanks, fella. Is he back on?
Mathieu Bastereau.
Thanks. Just that HIO.
When he made his debut for France, of course, it was Bernard Laporte who brought him on as an 18-year-old. Said then that he had the mental strength of a 25-year-old. It's kind of ironic that this last week he's said how troubled he's been this.
It's a great scum from the Scarlets, isn't it? Everyone likes to see the crowd
of Toulon.
Just in here. He's grabbed hold of his shirt when he's in the air, okay?
The front row will be saying go for a scrum again right about now, but I don't think that'll be the wise call.
I'm not sure the wind has changed that much. It's going to be another line-out call though from John Barkley. There, you just saw the shot. I think it was Lewis Rawlins. They worked the same channel. There's a yellow card coming, and it's just Suter. Well, Wayne Barnes did warn them. It was almost a timing issue, it appeared, on that.
Dealing with the Scarlets drive very comfortably all game, but it's a daft yellow to give away. You know, he's up and across, he's coming down on the jumper, there's contact in the air, he's grabbed an arm. It's just all too easy for the referee to see.
Well, can the Scarlets maximise opportunity against 14-man? Well, Giorgio went to the ground rather quickly there. I'm not sure whether that was a lifter problem more than anything else. Right now, though, it's Rob Evans trying to score another try, as he did last week, of course, against Leicester Tigers.
Lots of bodies on the floor. He's the wrong side, we're going to take a scrum.
Yes. Juan Martin Fernandez-Love, 61 times a Pumas international, started all 4 finals in the last 2 seasons for Toulon.
What a player he's been from Argentina as well. You know, you talk about players around the world that are your talisman, if you like. Again, he's a guy who plays in the back row, but he's got a wonderful, wonderful skill set. You see him popping up in loose plays, a wonderful link player. He's also got that hugely physical and competitive edge, which makes him a wonderful, wonderful international rugby player, not just club player.
And of course, critical for his country as well as his club. And he'll be looking forward to that Rugby World Cup in, what, 8 months' time now. It's soon coming upon us, isn't it?
It is coming around very, very quick, and a lot of these guys will have one eye on that as well. Within that as well, there's a lot of frustration.
Well, the Scarlets desperately trying to keep things moving. Barkley feeds on to Regan King. 150 plus appearances, of course, now in Scarlets colours in his second spell, having come back from Clermont. Actually played for Clermont, replacement on that day. Priestland trying to hold Martin Castrogiovanni off. Easier said than done. Well, plenty of possession for the home side. But still really to make that vertical thrust that's going to take them up towards the white line. Rob Evans bouncing off one. Williams. Little chip over the top from Hadley Parks. How's the bounce going to work? Well, it's there. Stefan Armitage once again holding things up as far as Scarlet's progression goes, and Rory Pittman using all of his size and bulk to try and keep it. It was illegally so, as Regan King tried to assist.
Toulon are really making a war zone of this breakdown area. You see Stefan Armitage, Bastero, they're attacking the ball straight away, making it very, very difficult for Scarlets to get that ball retention. Sadly for the Scarlets, you alluded to it then, Simon, it's all a little bit lateral at the moment. They go through a lot of phases, but they're not able to make that real sort of cut-in line, you know, that real dent in that defence to shorten them up and allow them to go wide.
Well, Brian Habana has really shed blood for his team tonight. Knows, oh, he got a boot there, I think that caused the latest release. Such an operator, making his 11th start, and really, he really puts his all into it.
Dent in that defence to shorten them up and allow them to go wide.
Well, Brian Habana has really shed blood for his team tonight. Knows, oh, he got a boot there, I think that caused the latest that could be stemmed has been stemmed on Brian Habana's face, and Lee Halfpenny sends them up towards halfway once again. So just 2 tries in the bag, don't forget, for Toulon. They've only actually scored a bonus point in 1 game, and that was last weekend, of course, against Ulster in that huge win at the Stade Félix Mayol. So their attack has not been able to produce the extras that they might have hoped in this competition so far. Indeed, in the first 3 games they scored 2 tries, as they have tonight, without being able to press on further. They've got 10 minutes left to try and garner that extra bonus point and, who knows, affect their seeding as we come to the quarter-final stages of this competition. Vanna looking for work. He really has been buzzing around the ball, happy to get off his wing and do the dirty, as it were, in the close areas. Here's Bakis-Botha running into his own man there, accidentally, of course. Well, maybe a language breakdown, Argentinian to South African, I'm not sure. Bakis-Botha, a real rugby warrior, if ever there was one.
One of the hardest men I've ever played against, certainly.
Really?
Yeah, warrior's a great term for him. He's a big, tough man. He's physical, he's uncompromising. He's got an edge to him that makes him a real competitor.
85 caps as a Springbok. And still doing it. There's Mamuka Gorgodze alongside him. It's a fearsome double act, those two. Gorgodze in the second row temporarily when Suter's absent. And Bastareaud leaving the pitch to be replaced by Rudy Wolf. Yet another international, 4 times an All Black Wolf. Lots of talk that he's going to be leaving Toulon at the end of the season. Of course, they've already announced that Samu Manoa is coming in, Salesi Mafu, both from Northampton, as well as Marnonu. So it's not going to get any weaker, is it, next season? A real smorgasbord of rugby talent that Mourad Boudjelal has assembled at the Stade Félix Mayol. Scarlets trying to look at that left flank again. Again, it's another Kiwi, Hadley Parks. He joined in December, having played for the Auckland Blues and the Southern Kings. And beginning to make an impact now, playing in midfield. Friesland forcing Lee Halfpenny across to this near side. Kick chase is better. Oh, that was half a trip from Josh Lewis wearing 22. Referee happy to let play continue and Escon clears his lines, but it hasn't hit the touchline. And Priestland feeds on to Christian Phillips now. This man has got pace, scored the final try at the Stade Félix Mayol. Can he get another score now to give something for the Scarlets fans to talk about tonight? Well, the home fans finding their voice in the stands, trying to inspire their team. It's not worked though, and once again,
on the ball.
the work at the breakdown from Toulon has been impeccable, bar 1 penalty.
Crikey, it's almost as if they decide as and when they want to turn it over. They're very smart on the breakdowns they're picking and choosing. I think the Scarlets have got to get away from attacking wide and then attacking with the 1-up, 2-up runners on around that 15 area. It's just playing into Toulon's hands where they're heavy. That being said, it's been a fantastic phase of play for the Scarlets. They've really upped the tempo of their game, and you can see Toulon are starting to walk now. They're sucking it in, and I think, as we said, the more this game's broken up, the better it gets for them. But it's a high ball carry, and Fernando Lopes in on the ball. Rory Pittman's arriving again. His body height's a bit high. He's got no tempo. Once a man's in on the ball like that, Wayne Barnes, the referee's there. He's seen it. Decision's made.
Well, we looked at the strength of the Toulon bench at the beginning of this game, and you just realise it is relentless. Good take from the former Osprey flyer. This time he gets a little help from his friends, but it's not clean ball for George Earl. Yep, just look for the grin. There it is. Well, he just loves the way he's working in this game right now. Right, well, I'm going to give you the obvious question now. Timing is everything. Your Heineken man of the match, Mr. Jones.
Well, we've seen him on our screen there. I think Stefan Armitage has been absolutely fantastic this second half. In and around the breakdown, he's really dictated the way Toulon have defended. So my Heineken Champions Cup man of the match is Stefan Armitage.
Well, as he was in the final last year, he's shown his value through every minute of these 75 so far. And so happy with his work.
Well, he smiled from start to finish, and with
Something
five
to do with that
turnovers,
gum shield, I think.
5 key turnovers, I'd be smiling as well.
Yeah, he's top of the list in this competition, and there's a good reason for that. As Josh Suter returns back to the park, there he is. Really finds the returning Suter. There's no defence from the Scarlets, but well, that ploy pays dividends there.
No. This man can't grab hold of opposition then and push.
Well, alert work from the Scarlets forwards.
Very smart, very wise. As you said earlier, you don't want to get into a pushing contest with Toulon. So what they've done, they've stood off. They've allowed the maul to form, but there is no maul until there's a Scarlets player attached to it. See Castro Giovanni trying to pull that Scarlets man in, trying to entice him, which of course is against the rules.
There he is, another award for Stefan Armitage, deservedly so. Unlikely, it would seem at this moment, to add to his 5 England caps, the last of which was back in the Six Nations 5 years ago now. Ruslan tries to release Stephen Shingler, but there's no great opportunity for the Scarlets fullback.
He's looked very good today, isn't he?
Yeah,
Shingler,
first start at fullback.
First start at 15, and he's looked very, very comfortable. I think when the play's broken up as well, he's really brought a slightly different attacking threat as well. We've seen a couple of kicks from him. He looked very, very good there. He'll be very pleased with his performance today.
He's 23 years of age. Of course, had a couple of years with London Irish and wondered which country he was going to play for. But now back in Scarlet's colours with his brother, of course, as Stefan Armitage is with Dylan Armitage. Dylan, of course, out at the side until the 9th of Feb with that ban. Oh, good competition from both Josh Lewis and Lee Halfpenny. Castro Giovanni, one of the bigger fly halves in world rugby, perhaps. Certainly one of the most unkempt, or distinctive, I should say. Oh, good work from Ryan Elias. That's great steal. Now, can the Scarlets make something of this? John Barkley coming through, working with Priestland. They go again with George Earl. Well, this big crowd would like something, but it's not going to happen on this time. Every time it looks like the Scarlets have been able to fire their attack, it has been this Toulon defence at the breakdown that has suffocated any opportunity, strangled the life out of any Welsh resurgence, and the turnover count, be it Stefan Armitage or that man Love, it has been impeccable work around the breakdown, and look at those stats. That's why they're top of the board in this competition, with the likes of Stefan Armitage and Juan Martin Fernandez Love, arch practitioners in the jackal and making sure they can stem and stop the flow of the opposition. Last 60 seconds coming up. Oh, Orioli with the blind pass, the no-look pass. I'm not sure it fooled too many people, it has to be said, but he'll be talking about it. Nicolas Sanchez. Castro Giovanni in the front row is keeping in. Suter trying to get the break. Escon thinks he's seen something down that right-hand side. Drew Mitchell being pulled back in by Rawlins. And the turnover is there for the Scarlets. Priestland just trying to manufacture something from his own 22. Right, is there something in his own? Oh, Harry Robinson finds skates instead of studs. And suddenly the opportunity is gone. Well, what a coup de grace that would have been for the Scarlets. Something to remember from this game.
It's a wonderful bit of play from Rhys Priestland then. He's seen the space deep in his 22, kicking it just very, very unlucky there.
Well, there it is, the final whistle as Rhys Priestland desperately tried to instigate something, but there is Harry Robinson being tackled by 5 Toulon blades of grass. It wasn't to happen. Well, Toulon have got the victory, Ryan. Have they got the performance that they wanted? Have they got the outcome that they wanted?
They've certainly got the outcome they wanted. They came here for a win to cement their place with a home quarter. As far as they're concerned, it's job done. A very, very dominant first half, built on a very, very good set piece.